Konnichiwa, gamers! What, you want to speak Japanese?
No, I don't, dude.
Well, you're going to have to learn because this week it's all about the Japanese games. We've had several Japanese releases this week coming over to the US, including Tales of Xillia 2 and Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. You're watching Ultima Gaming Live. Yeah, this'll do.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm practicing for Sword Art Online.
Sword Art what?
It's a popular MMORPG and an anime, but it just got a new video game release for the PS Vita. Here's our review. Do you enjoy video games? How about anime? What about virtual reality? If you answered yes to all three of these questions, then allow me to present the all-in-one package called Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment for the PlayStation Vita. Sword Art Online is a highly popular anime about virtual reality MMORPGs. Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment is a video game based off the anime about virtual reality video games. Did you catch all that? However, don't be fooled by the title of this game. It's not actually an MMO, but a game that takes place in an MMO setting. Also, here's a spoiler warning up front. If you haven't seen the Sword Art Online anime and you plan to, then avoid this game for the time being, as important story points within the anime are spoiled within this game. Now that we have all that out of the way, let's take a look at Hollow Fragment. Perhaps my biggest gripe with Hollow Fragment is the tease of giant action-based fights, only to be preceded and followed by minutes upon minutes of unskippable dialogue. For every 5 minutes of fighting, you'll spend a good 10 minutes working your way through the story and over-talkative characters. This is the main flaw for Hollow Fragment. Start a battle, and you'll be faced with pages of information being thrown at you, explaining every little detail about what you see on screen. Walk into a new area, and then grab some popcorn to watch a never-ending cutscene. The developers of Hollow Fragment repeatedly tell the player rather than showing. However, don't let my gripe about all this dialogue concern you, because it's all worth it. If you're new to the Sword Art Online series, many of these information blurbs will help you get up to speed on characters and happenings within the world. At the same time, with so much going on at once, you could argue it's better to know too much than too little. Of course, when you're not faced with button mashing to get through dialogue, you're presented with beautifully animated cutscenes. These scenes look as though they were taken straight out of the anime, and feels more like you're watching the show rather than playing a game. These cutscenes are much easier to get through and more enticing for the player to enjoy. The story behind Hollow Fragment centers around the hero Kirito. In the game Sword Art Online, players can only win by clearing all 100 floors of the game. In Hollow Fragment, Kirito starts out already on floor 76 and must work his way up to 100. Each floor feels very unique, taking the player through various environments such as swamps, deserts, caves, mountainsides, and much more. Players also have the ability to customize Kirito's look to give him a unique appearance to the player. The customization isn't very thorough, however, it does provide a good number of options, including different voices. The combat in Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment is very simple and straightforward. Instead of the traditional JRPG turn-based battles, players will have the ability to roam around in open spaces as they fight enemies alongside your fellow party members in real-time combat. Speaking of open spaces, Hollow Fragment has plenty to offer for the explorer. This game is vast not only in story, but the physical realm you travel in. Since the setting of Hollow Fragment is an MMORPG, it's almost like exploring a unique little universe with lots to see and do. Kirito has several different moves mapped to different buttons, in addition to 8 different commands you can send your party members, allowing for dozens of different combinations to occur. Players don't just have physical combat, but magic and special abilities as well. You'll have to keep a close eye on several meters during combat to remain efficient. Although the dialogue in Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment can be tedious, it's well worth it just to enjoy the fluid combat. The game certainly stays true to the Sword Art Online universe, and is something that fans of the series will really enjoy. While JRPGs might not be for everyone, Hollow Fragment steers away from certain traditions, allowing those who favor real-time combat to have some fun. Even if you aren't a fan of the Sword Art Online series, or would like to get to know more about it, Hollow Fragment does a good job of welcoming newcomers instead of isolating them or keeping them out of the loop. With that in mind, we'd like to give Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment a 4 out of 5.
Why do you still have that stupid sword?
I'm practicing for my next adventure.
What adventure?
We've got another game to review.
What game?
Tales of Xillia 2 just came out for PlayStation 3.
No way!
It did. Here's our review.
Tales of Xillia 2 is the 14th title in the Tales of series by Bandai Namco. It is a Japanese role-playing game that favors action over taking turns to attack, like in most other JRPGs. Tales of Xillia 2 was originally released in 2012 in Japan, and is the sequel to the original Xillia. Taking place 1 year after the events of the first one, the player finds themselves in control of a brand new character, Ludger Kresnik, a railroad station chef starting his first day of work. Some major events happen, and Ludger finds himself thrusted into a journey to save the world. Of course, something you expect in most JRPGs. However, Ludger finds himself in debt, and throughout the game you have to slowly pay off the debt to travel anywhere in the world and progress throughout the story. Tales of Xillia 1 introduced a new feature to the Tales series with 2 playable main characters to pick from. Although Xillia 2 does not continue this, it offers a brand new feature, the power of choice. Throughout the game, you have decisions to make, and depending on what you pick can and will affect the story and how characters will interact with you. All the original characters from the first game are in this one, although they don't do much to introduce them for brand new players, so if you haven't played Xillia 1, you're missing out. The gameplay is the same as the first one, with one notable difference. Ludger has the ability to wield different weapons such as twin blades, a mighty hammer, and dual pistols. Each fighting style is different, and you have the ability to change it on the fly in the midst of combat, so you can always find your enemy's weakness. Leveling up has also changed. Instead of the Lilium Orb from the previous one, now you have the Allium Orb. With the Allium Orb, you equip a single orb and gain elemental points through battle, and that lets you learn the skill or obtain a stat increase. It is very reminiscent of the title system from Graces or the equipment system in Final Fantasy IX. The game does have some faults though. It still suffers from the texture popping into existence as the first game did. It does reuse a lot of assets from the first Xillia, and Mila's voice actor is still a bit iffy. But overall, the game is a solid fun 40 to 60 hour long RPG. If you are a fan of the Tales series, it is a must pick up for you. If not, check out the first Xillia before picking this one up. We give Tales of Xillia 2 a 4 out of 5.
For the last time, Hunter, why do you still have this sword?
Why not? It's a sword.
I know, but why do you still have it?
Because it's really cool.
It's not really cool, it kills people.
That's cool.
Yeah, you do have a point.
You know what's not cool?
What?
We're at the end of today's episode.
I know, that sucks, right?
I know it does, but hey, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next week with some more game reviews.
Have a great day.